Okay, kids, I'm just going to explain how you would solve this right triangle. If all I know is that I have a 40-degree angle, a right angle, and a hypotenuse length of 8. So to solve the triangle, I have a choice. I can solve for either KL first or ML first, and it really doesn't matter which one I do. I'm going to choose KL, it's just my preference. So I'll choose KL. So the length of KL here, I'm going to have to find out, I'll let it be X, right? So to find KL, I'm looking for the length of the opposite leg in reference to this 40-degree angle. So opposite the 40-degree angle is leg KL. I need a ratio then that has opposite in it. So it's going to have to be either this one or this one. Cosine's off the table because it doesn't have opposite in it. What's the side length I know? I know the hypotenuse length. So what I need to know and what I want to find out, in this case, is the opposite leg and the hypotenuse. So I need a ratio that relates opposite leg to hypotenuse. So I'm going to be forced to use the sine ratio here to find KL. So the sine of 40 degrees is equal to opposite x over hypotenuse 8. And all I need to do is multiply each side by 8, and that would cancel. And I'm going to have that KL is equal to 8 times the sine of 40 degrees. Make sure your calculator's in degree mode before you do that. So 8 times the sine of 40 degrees. Make it look a little neater. It's hard to write over the counters here. Now, suppose I decided I wanted to find ML first. Suppose that I didn't do this. Suppose I didn't do this and I said, you know what, I'm going to find ML first. Well, if I want to find ML first, in reference to the 40-degree angle, that is the adjacent leg. So I need a ratio that relates the adjacent leg to the length of the hypotenuse, because that's what I already know. So I'm going to be forced to use the cosine ratio. So I'm going to have that the cosine of that 40-degree angle is equal to the length of the adjacent leg, y, unknown, over the length of the hypotenuse, what I know, 8. Multiply each side by 8, and you'll have that ML is equal to 8 times the cosine of 40 degrees. Once you find one leg, let's suppose I found KL first, I have a choice. If I know that this is 8 and then I know this length, I can use those two lengths in the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared will equal c squared, my hypotenuse squared. I can do that if I want. Or I can just go ahead and use the cosine ratio to find it too. So I have a choice which way I want to do it. To find this missing angle measure, that's really easy because this is a 90-degree angle, this is a right triangle. The two acute angles in any right triangle are complementary, meaning they add up to 90 degrees. So to find that, I just need to find out what angle measure when you add it to 40 is 90 degrees. You could say 40 plus 90 plus what equals 180 because all the angles add up to 180 degrees. You could do it that way too. But that's how you would solve this right triangle.